We will give it a minute. And we are live. Okay, hello everyone. I just got back from the gym, which is why I look a little bit like a hot mess. If you think I haven't washed my hair in a couple days, you are so right. This is just some real life stuff today. Um, but I'm feeling really called and energized to talk about something that I heard. I've been really into listening to personal growth and like the modules from courses that I'm enrolled in while I'm working out, because that's like something that has been a goal for mine, is to get back into the gym consistently. So hello. Hi, darling. Hi at the beach, but hi, love you. Love you so much. I hope you're having such a good time. I hope your vacation is going so great. So yeah, I figured, let me just see. I like to tag everybody in here too. So let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling as you pop on. And yeah, so like I was saying, the title of this live is taking 100% responsibility for your life for a reason, because like I said, I've been getting into the habit of going back to the gym consistently with everything, with doing Beachbody workouts from home when I was coaching, and then moving into coronavirus and everything shutting down. Now the gyms are open. So that's like my big goal, is to get back in the gym, because I feel like that's when I feel my most confident self. Like I just feel a lot more badass when I'm going to the gym, essentially, and just the most confident in my body. And I don't know, my body responds really well to lifting weights, and I just have always felt like that was like my sanctuary, my safe space, all that good stuff. But while I've been at the gym, I've been really utilizing this time, and I talked about this on my story yesterday. I've really been utilizing this time to my benefit. So utilizing the time where I'm not necessarily focusing on anything. I'm not really, like my mind isn't really needed to focus on something specific. Like I have a lot of, it's a great time, right? It's like what I call, your net time, like working out to your benefit. So if I'm going to the gym and working out for an hour, 5 days a week, right? That's 5 hours a week that I can commit to educating myself for my business, learning more, like diving deeper into personal growth, personal development, which are all like big goals for me right now, specifically around building my business. So this whole concept of taking 100% responsibility for your life was like a really game changer topic that I heard him talking about. I'm in James Wedmore's Business by Design program, and he was talking about this. So the first couple modules are all about like yourself and your beliefs and a lot of the work that we do in here, but specifically around business. And he was like, okay, like, he was talking about the importance of taking responsibility for your life, and how, when we don't take responsibility for our life, we're just giving our power to anyone and everyone in our external reality, and it makes us it's really disempowering, right? So that was this whole concept of looking at the things in life, like you're looking at your life and looking at the way that things have gone, and asking yourself, like, how could you take more responsibility, or where did you not take responsibility, or where did you avoid responsibility in this situation to get you where you are right now? So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to tag everybody really quick just to get everybody on. I apologize if you're watching the replay and you hear my clicking, but I just like this to be as interactive as possible, as you guys know. So I hope you're doing well. This week has been a big week for me in terms of like getting back in my groove with planning and goal setting and a lot of that really great stuff. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the things that are coming up for us. So give me a minute. Get everybody tagged and on. The good news is I only have a week left of night shift, and then I go back to day shift. So we should have some more like consistent normal hours as I get into day shift again. So like with the lives and everything. Okay. Sorry, this is super tedious. I just know sometimes you guys don't get notifications that we are live, so I like to make sure that I tag everybody. This is also super random, but if you guys have any like really good book or podcast suggestions lately that you've been loving, I would love, like I said, some suggestions on that. Let's see. All right, there we go. Okay. Sorry that took me so long. So, like I said, we will give everybody a minute to hop on. As you're hopping on, feel free to let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling. We will jump into this topic of taking 100% responsibility for your life, and really like getting uncomfortable with that. So if you have big goals, you have big dreams about what it is that you want in life or where you want to be, and you're not there yet, we're going to look at the reasons why. And then at the end, we'll open it up to some coaching. So let me know who is on, how you're doing, how you're feeling, all that good stuff. So like I was saying before, let's tune in with some breath work before I get into my spiel. Okay, so go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Rub your palms together. Bring them into the center of your chest. Take a big deep breath in. Hold. And exhale, release. 2 more, big breath in. Hold at the top. And exhale, let it go. Last one, biggest breath you've taken all day. Hold. And exhale, let it go. Keeping your eyes closed, floating your hands down, palms facing up on your lap. Dear universe, angels, guides, higher self, angels, guides of everyone in this community, on this live, watching the recording, in this collective. Please just help me to be a clear and open channel for anything and everything that's needing to come through today for these beautiful women in this community, both around taking 100% responsibility for their lives, for our lives, and really healing through some things that maybe have been, hanging out on a subconscious level that we haven't even noticed that's been blocking us from getting where we want to be, and anything else that needs to come through. Please just allow it to come through me as simply and directly as possible so they can have instantaneous transformations and feel better and uplift their energy within this live. Go ahead and take another deep breath in. And exhale. Keeping your eyes closed, looking up to your third eye point, the space in between your eyebrows. Go ahead and take a minute just to ask, dear universe, angels, guides, higher self, whatever it is that you connect with, and just ask, what is it that I'm needing advice or guidance on today? Where am I needing more love and healing? What topics are meant to come through for me today? Just take a moment to meditate on it, to receive, to open up, And trust that the first thing that comes to your mind is exactly what needs to come through. And as it comes through, please go ahead and comment it to me on this video. Just take a moment. Take a moment for yourself. Throughout this crazy life that we're living, just take a moment. Okay. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Beautiful. Okay, so go ahead. Like I said, let me know who's on. Let me know what came through when you asked what was needing to come through tonight. This is kind of an impromptu live, but I like to come on when I'm feeling most inspired to. And I love tuning in with some breath work together to just get our energy in the right space. The biggest thing that I really felt when I asked what was needing to come through tonight is the importance of not only goal setting, but actually taking action on the life that you want to be living. I think a lot of the times we're so focused on where we want to be and our goals and, all these great things, but it's like, if we don't physically take action and really like get out of our own head, our progress can be a lot quicker than we think. Oftentimes. So no matter what that looks like, if it's building a business, if it's going back to school, if it's getting into better shape, going to the gym more regularly, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your goals are right now, or the biggest things that you're focusing on, or the biggest things that are exciting to you, right? Because that's what you should be focusing on, because that's what your heart is feeling called to. But it's like, we can sit here and dream about it and be really in the flow of it and all these amazing, really feminine energies. But like the thing that I was hearing to come through is like the importance of physically taking action towards those things to make it happen, which kind of is in line with this whole concept of taking 100% responsibility for your life that we're going to talk about today. So yeah, Sarah said, I got the word ritual coming through. Okay. Wanda said, hello, my love. Okay. I'm going to take a minute and just meditate on that for a minute, Sarah, and see what comes through in terms of rituals. Rituals. I almost see it as like a consistent, like making a ritual out of your work and out of like the business that you're building, and like finding rituals, right, that you can start to tap into every single day that are going to get you closer and closer to where you want to be with your business, is like what I'm hearing coming through in terms of rituals. Is like making it a ritual to sit down and work on your business, making it a ritual to sit down and work on the projects that you have for your clients. Instead of thinking of it as like this cookie cutter, like masculine energy of work, which is crazy, I think, too, because it's like such a fine, and I think we talk, you guys both are in, you guys are both familiar enough with energetic practices that we know that like the balance of the masculine and the feminine together is like what's really powerful in this world, within ourselves, right? Like the masculine and the feminine energy within ourselves, and how when one feels really strong, or we're out of balance, right? We feel out of balance. So if we're really in the masculine and we have like very low energy in the feminine, or vice versa, it can feel unbalanced. It can feel like taking action is either really like hardworking and like burning out and like, boring and masculine and like slimy, especially if you're building a business, like just feels shitty, right? But then on the other side of it, if you're way in your feminine and only in your feminine and hardly at all in your masculine, you're like, I'm just like up in the clouds all day and I just keep I just feel like I'm just dreaming and nothing's really becoming a reality. So I think really bridging the two of those, Sarah, together in the form of a ritual that you can do, that's going to really help you get where you want to go, right? And I'm really feeling that specifically for your business. So, okay. So and this actually bridges really beautifully into this topic of, taking 100% responsibility for your life and what I'm about to share with you. But I want to know too, other than that divine download when we in the beginning asked like, is there anything that's needing to come through? I want to know from like a subconscious, like a conscious mental level, just like feeling where you're at today. Like, is there anything that you're needing advice or guidance on, or you're wanting to shed more light around a situation that's been challenging you? Please go ahead and comment it in the comments now. I'm going to go on my spiel and then we'll come back to the coaching side of it. So let me know that. And then, like I said, we're going to get into it. So I was saying this in the beginning before I tagged everybody, but I am enrolled in James Wedmore's Business by Design program, which is like a business course, so to speak. And I've been listening to the modules while I'm at the gym because that's a big goal for me, is getting back in the gym. And I love personal growth. I love personal development. I love like buying courses, listening to modules. Like it just makes me feel really good. So doing those at the same time makes me feel like a powerhouse, which is like the energy that I'm coming off of as I get on this live. Like I just got back from the gym. And I haven't showered or washed my hair yet. So you're getting the very raw and real post gym version of me. So this is my question for you. And this is kind of what the exercises that he walks through in this program in terms of taking responsibility for your life. So my question for you is, and I'm sharing this because it was so eye-opening and it felt like it was something that was so important for my own journey that I knew it would be beneficial for you guys. So my question for you is, right, what really great things have happened in your life? Have you achieved? Have you accomplished? Like, just name a few of them for me. Like, what are some big things that when you look back on your life, you're very proud of? They're big accomplishments for you. It's really exciting for you. They were really big moments. Like, this could be like graduation, getting a job, graduation, getting a job, moving, like anything that feels really, really powerful. So I want to know from those of you that are on and those of you that are watching the replay, what are the things that when you look back on your life that you're really proud of? Like, give me like 3 to 5. Like for me, I'm very proud of myself for, leaving my old nursing job that I was not happy at and pursuing to find the dream job that I wanted. I'm very proud of myself for leaving Beachbody coaching and completely wiping that foundation out from under me to start running my business in a way that was on my terms and in my own flow. And I'm really proud of myself for going to nursing school and pushing it out and getting through a program that was very difficult. Like those are the things for me. So I want to know for you, what does that look like? They don't have to be school or career oriented. That's just kind of, you guys know that's the person that I am. So I want to know. Let me read this. Okay. Sarah said, that really resonates. I've been feeling very out of sync with myself lately. Like unproductive and unfulfilled. I sent this sort of to you in a text, but I'll expand on it. I'm on vacation and been feeling very depressed in a way I have not felt in years. Very disconnected and cranky and angry and sad. And so I'm struggling figuring out a way to feel fulfilled and productive in a way in which I can relax. Okay. So I'm going to come back to this just because I want to dive into, I want to come back to this because I feel like there's a lot of good stuff that's going to come through for you in terms of that, and I don't want to just skim the surface, so I'm going to come back to it, but I 100% understand where you're coming from, so we're going to come back. Okay, things you're proud of: starting my business, graduating with my 2 degrees, landing a TV episode that was very improv heavy, which usually scares me. Beautiful. Awesome. So again, comment to me in the live, or if you're watching the recording, some things that are for you, that they are, that are your biggest accomplishments or the things that you're most proud of in your life, right? So go ahead and let me know. But I want you to take a minute and look at those things that you're proud of, those accomplishments, and look at how you played a part in making those happen, how you played a part in taking 100% responsibility and getting those things done. So for me, taking 100% responsibility and saying, I'm not happy in this job that I'm at, actively pursuing and reaching out to recruiters, reaching out to the job website, looking at all the jobs that I could in like labor and delivery where I wanted to work. That's how I took 100% responsibility, right? Putting in my 2 weeks at my old job, starting my bachelor's program, and going to actively pursue a new a new career or a new job, right? A new nursing job. But also like for my business, like how did I take responsibility for Beachbody coaching? I knew like to leave Beachbody coaching. I knew that it didn't feel good. I knew it didn't feel in alignment, and I trusted my intuition and took a step in the direction that I wanted to go, right? I canceled my Beachbody coaching membership. I moved into this space. I announced that I was rebranding. I announced what like people could look forward to in my business. And things have just been getting better and better ever since. Same thing with nursing school. Like how did I get into this position with nursing school? Like I applied for nursing school. I took all the exams that I needed to. I went through a rigorous 2-year program. I passed my boards, like a lot of big things, right? That I took 100% responsibility and said, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it, right? And even like with the business too, like just to give you another example, like with my business now, another way that I took responsibility was like actively looking for business mentors to show me the way forward, right? Even if I didn't know where I was headed, right? But I trusted my intuition. Okay. So go ahead and let me know the ways in which you took responsibility for those big things in your life, just for the sake of this. Okay, Wanda said, almost graduation from my Bachelor of Early Childhood Education, moving up and being from an associate teacher to a lead teacher, moving back to Mexico, where no one in my family thought I'll last, applying for counseling in education masters. Beautiful. I love it. I'm so proud of you for your masters. I'm so excited for your journey. I'm so excited. It's so needed. Okay. So again, tell me the ways in which you took responsibility in pursuing these, right? So with Sarah, like starting your business, how'd you take responsibility and do this? Like you filed for your LLC, you got all the systems in place, you took the copywriting course, graduating with your 2 degrees, you went to class, you took your exams, like you did everything, right? And then I'm not as familiar with the acting space as you know, but like, again, let me know the ways in which like you looked for, auditions and pursued that, right, with your agent and all that stuff. So tell me the ways in which you took 100% responsibility for those huge accomplishments in your life. And then same thing with you, Wanda. Like, you applied for college, you got in, you've been working through your classes. Like, you've probably either had a conversation with somebody asking if you could move up and become a lead teacher, or it was presented to you and you said yes. Like, that's taking responsibility. Moving back to Mexico where no one thought that you would last, like also taking responsibility and saying this is what I want and I'm going to do it, right? And then same thing, applying for your master's program, like that's taking responsibility physically. So those, and just looking at this, right, and seeing that the big accomplishments in our life, we played a role in making that happen, right? We played a role in achieving the things that we wanted that we just listed. So my whole thing now is looking at the opposite side of the spectrum. And this is where it can get uncomfortable. And this is where really the magic is going to happen. So the thing that I want to ask you now is, what are some things that you, I'm going to read through these first. But I'm going to ask you a next question that you can start typing to me. What are some things that you currently are complaining about? What are some things that you're complaining about that you're saying isn't going right? Is it your coworkers? Is it that you don't like your job? Is it you don't like where you're living? Is it that you don't feel as healthy as you felt before? Like that's one of them for me. Is it that your business hasn't grown as much as you desired it to? I'm reading them from mine. Is it that, you feel like you can't afford the car of your dreams? You feel like you can't afford to move out yet? Is it your credit card debt? I know that's really resonates with some people in here as well. Like, what are the things you complain about? For me, like, I complain about working 12 hours. Working my 12-hour shifts. I complain about, or I don't like the idea of selling in my business. That's something that really big that I'm working through right now. Or like not being able to take my business full time yet. Like that's something that I don't like, that I'm frustrated, that I complain about. Or, feeling like I don't have the time to clean and cook and take care of my space. Tedious schoolwork. Like I'm literally reading you my list. Only having time for work and no play. No one wants to go on vacation with me this year because like it's coronavirus and it's like this big debacle of like some people are traveling, some people aren't. What do we do? And like living in my hometown. Like those are things that I currently am complaining about or not enjoying, right? So tell me now, what are some things what are some of the big things that you've been complaining about lately? And make a list. Like literally make a list like I just read to you. And if you're like, I'm not a complainer, I don't complain, like, yeah, I love you, but yes, there's got to be some way in your life that you're complaining, right? Or that you're putting the blame on someone else. So tell me that now. So tell me the things that you're currently complaining about, or the things that you aren't enjoying the way that it's going in your life right now, or you wish it was something different. Okay, tell me those things. And again, this is where the magic happens. If you are on here, feel free to say hello. Let me know how you're doing, how you're feeling, if anyone's hopping on mid live stream. And you can go ahead and feel free to just answer the questions as we go through them as well. You can just jump right in. Sarah said reapplying. So this is action steps that you took and like how you took responsibility for your accomplishments. Reapplying to college to go back and finish up taking Spanish again so I could do an advanced Spanish study abroad program. Took the leap in buying the copy course. Emailed a bunch of agencies and worked my butt off to get that meeting. Also didn't shy away from the audition that was audition heavy. Actually separated myself from the outcome of the audition and ended up getting it. Love it. Okay. Wanda said, not giving up on my schooling, applying for early childhood education. Hi, Joanne. Let's see. Not giving up on schooling, applying for early childhood education when you knew it was your path. Good. So taking that divinely guided action. Moving up to be a lead teacher. My assistant director kept telling me to move up and how she wanted me to move up. Beautiful. Took the leap and took the challenge. For moving to Mexico, I took the leap and knew I needed a break and to focus on myself. I applied after I heard my inner goddess telling me that this is my path and I needed to do it. Love it. Okay. So now tell me the things that you are constantly complaining about or that you are complaining about the most. And I want you to tell me, like, when you say, like, when you type it out, I want you to ask, like, okay, what else? Like, I want to get into this because it's very powerful. Joanne said, hey, everyone. Lately complaining about putting so much of my energy and talent towards my corporate job when I could just be focusing on building my business, which I just started. Okay. Sarah said, cold emailing for sure. The fact that I'm not quite making what I'd like yet, complaining about literary agents not answering me back. Haha. Also not wanting to relearn the menu at my restaurant, but I may not need to. Okay. Beautiful. So the biggest thing, and I know this is a whole thing in every aspect of changing your life, but becoming aware of the things in which you are complaining about or that aren't making you happy right now is the first step we need to take 100% responsibility for your life. And I'm going to tough love the shit out of you guys today because I think it's important and I hope that you're ready. And if you're not ready, get ready. Okay, I'm drinking my coffee because, this is like kind of my morning. Wanda said that I can't have a job down here or won't be able to receive money, which once I trusted the universe, I did receive money, that I'll be bored living here and that I'm going to become lazy because I'm not doing anything. Okay. Good place to start for all of you guys. If there's more that's coming through, just go ahead and type it in, okay? Also complaining about my messy apartment and eating like shit lately. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, Joanne, in terms of your messy place and eating like shit, because that's where I'm at, and that was on my list. Okay. It's ready. I love you guys. Okay. Okay. So these things that you just named, right? I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, and we're going to look at every single one. I will go through my list first, and then we will go through everybody's list together. And I want you to ask yourself, because again, as much like these big accomplishments that we've achieved in life, we had some part in that, right? We took responsibility, we got our shit done, we achieved these things that we wanted. Just like that, in the things that we're complaining about or the results that we do not have, the results that we want that we don't have yet, we are responsible for that. And I know that might be a hard pill to swallow, right? I know it might be a hard pill to swallow for you to be like if you're having an issue with a coworker, if you're having an issue with somebody that's outside of yourself, like say, in your business, we can just go up with this analogy. Say in your business, you're not making the amount of money that you want to be making, or you don't have the amount of clients that you want to be making, right? that you want to be making. You don't have the amount of clients in your circle that you want. You want more, right? You want more money, you want more people, you want to help more people, you want to make a bigger impact. Like those are all very real things, right? I want you to ask yourself, okay, so for this example, where have I avoided responsibility in this area of my life? So where have you avoided responsibility and that in turn has caused you to not make enough money, quote unquote enough money, or not have enough people in your community? Okay, so where have you avoided responsibility? Is it that, and this could be a couple different things. And it usually is like a mix of different things, right? So avoiding responsibility with this would look like, not posting on social media consistently, not reaching out to people and telling people what you do, not putting an offer out there. Like if you want to make money in your business, you got to have something to sell. Okay. I'm very excited to be working one-on-one with those of you that I'm doing one-on-ones with, but also I'm very excited for the group coaching program that I'm going to be launching in October. Side note, if you have not submitted your testimonial video, make sure you do it by tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you're going to get 22% off of that group coaching program in October. And I'm promising you that you're not going to want to miss out on it because it's fucking incredible. Just throwing that out there. But like this whole thing of like, I want to be making more money, or I want to, like, you got to give people a reason to pay you. So if you're not making as much money as you want in your business, it's one of two things, right? You either don't have a reason, or you don't have a way for people to pay you, or, like you don't have an offer, or you're not talking about what it is that you do and you're not selling what it is that you're doing, right? That's ways that you have been avoiding responsibility in this example. Also with the community. So if you feel like you don't have a lot of people in your community, how have you been avoiding responsibility? Are you not inviting people to your Facebook group? Are you not interacting with other like-minded people that you like to follow on social media? Are you not sharing on social media, right? Are you giving, are you not giving the value that you need to be giving to attract your audience? Like those are ways that you would be avoiding responsibility in not making as much money in your business or not having as many people in your community as you want. So with that being said, do you see how, because your ego wants to go, when we say, oh, well, I'm not making enough money and I don't have enough people in my circle, your ego wants to say, yeah, because no one's signing up for your course. Yeah, because no one's signing up for your coaching. Yeah, because no one's following you on social media. Yeah, because no one, and it's like you put your power in someone else's hands and say that it's their fault that you're not making the money. It's their fault that you don't have the community. You are giving your power away. And if you are living your life thinking that way, you can't expect to get the results that you desire. And this is why I'm saying I'm going to tough love the shit out of you right now, because it's so important. How does that land? Tell me how that lands. Sarah said not posting on social media consistently. Yeah, so now I want to know, we'll go through them. So for me, I'll just give you a couple of mine. So with my one thing that I've been complaining about lately is that I've gained weight and that I have not had the time or the energy to go to the gym, which is something that makes me feel really good and really empowered. So where have I been avoiding responsibility is that I haven't been going to the gym, right? And I wrote this down. Haven't been going to the gym, haven't been making it a priority. I haven't been aware of my weight, right? I haven't been weighing myself. I haven't been making it a physical appointment on my calendar. Those are the ways that I've been avoiding it, right? I've just been kind of like sweeping it under the rug, right? And if these areas of your life that you're telling me you're complaining about or you're not happy with there's got to be some shit you're putting under the rug, right? So the next question to ask yourself is, how can I take responsibility for this today? How can I take responsibility for this? How can I take responsibility to change this? So for my example with going to the gym, or my example of not liking that I've gained weight, or that I'm not making the time, or that I'm complaining that I don't have the time or the energy to go work out, like, how can I take responsibility for that today? Going to the gym daily, weighing myself daily for my own awareness, right? Putting that as the first thing on my to-do list every single day. That's how I can start taking responsibility now. And you notice how my brain could be like, like how I said, I don't have the time or the energy. Well, it's the fact that I'm working full time. Like that's the reason why I don't have the time or energy. Or I'm working full time and I'm building a business. Like, how am I supposed to get to the gym? Like, that is giving my power away. And these things that you're complaining about, you clearly care about, right? Another example is like that my business hasn't grown as much as I wanted it to by now, right? I'm almost 2 years in. I'm like, and again, asking myself, where have I avoided this? Where have I avoided responsibility? Well, I haven't really tried to learn how to build a business as in depth as I am right now. I have been really focused on sharing and content creation and all these things, right? I've treated it like a hobby, right? You can't expect to build a business if you're treating it like a hobby. I'm being ashamed. I was ashamed to talk about what I do with people in my everyday life. This is how I was avoiding responsibility. I was giving a ton of free coaching and free content away, and I was working really hard and not really getting paid for it. Like, those are the ways that I have been avoiding responsibility. And again, I could go into the ego mindset of, well, I work full time. Like, it's the fact that I work full time is the reason why I can't build my business. Or, I didn't have anybody sign up for that course that I launched 6 months ago. That's the reason why it's not growing. I don't have more people joining my email list or following me on social media. Like, it's not my fault that my business isn't growing. It's their fault, right? It's so disempowering, right? And it's our ego. And I'm getting chills because I feel like you guys need to hear this. So asking myself, how can I take 100% responsibility for this area of my life? Learning absolutely everything I can in Business by Design, the program that I'm currently in. Going in 100% with my business, right? Treating it like work. Having set hours Monday through Friday and not working on the weekends. Having business hours, right? Even though I'm working for myself. Weekly goal setting and daily to-do lists to keep me on track with my goals, right? Setting quarterly goals every couple months, right? Every 3 months. Sharing it whenever I can and being proud of myself for what I do in my business, right? And again, my last two things were start charging my worth and stop giving away my work for free. And I think, and this is going to resonate for a lot of you guys in here, because I was like newer to an online business and I was newer to what I was doing, I thought, I can't charge for that. I don't have the experience. I can't charge for that. When you get in that mindset, right, you're not taking responsibility for wanting to build a business. You're giving your power away. So let's work through this, okay? So let's go back up. Okay, so we'll start with Joanne's thing. So, and Joanne, I want you to tell me too, we're going to go through the questions, right? So if you've been lately complaining about putting so much of your energy and talent towards your corporate job when you could be focusing on the business that you just started. Okay, so where have you been avoiding responsibility in building your business? Where have you been avoiding responsibility in putting time into building your business, to learning how to build your business, right? Where have you been avoiding responsibility? I want to know from your perspective, and I'm gonna dive into with this. So some things that could be coming up for you is, you've been saying, well, I'm working, like same thing I just said, I'm working full time. How am I supposed to build a business when I'm working full time? Like, I don't have the time for it, right? You're putting your energy into your full-time job and saying, nope, it's not my fault. It's my work's fault that I don't have the time to build my business because I'm working full time. But who chose to work full time at the job that you're working? You chose that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like taking responsibility for that and realizing they're not making you work for them. That was a choice. So other things, like, where have you been avoiding responsibility? You may, not be using the time off that you have to work on your business. You may not be planning your business. You may not be setting goals for your business. You may not be posting on social media. You may not be starting to think about an offer. You may not be researching everything and anything you can about building an online business. You may not be, I talked about this yesterday on my Instagram stories, like, you may not be using your net time to your benefit, the time when you're doing things that don't require as much mental focus, mental capacity, using that time for your benefit, using that time to listen to podcasts and audiobooks and course modules from people who are where you want to be, right? To expand, to let their thoughts and let the way that they think sink into your subconscious mind. So I want to know in what ways have you been avoiding responsibility? And this can be really uncomfortable, but again, it's like breaking through the ego and just like looking at it straight on and being like, wow. Because if we keep avoiding the reasons why, if we keep avoiding this whole topic, right, of like this whole topic of like avoiding responsibility and complaining about things and just constantly being in that state of like, well, it's not my fault, it's not my fault, the victim mentality, you're never going to get where you want to be. You're never going to get where you want to be. Let's see. Okay, so you're not taking responsibility because you're not using your time off effectively, for sure. I need to start learning more about building a business. I've been so focused on my spiritual and personal development. It's time to shift my mindset. Okay, so now my next question for you is, how can you start taking responsibility for this today? Like, let's make a game plan. How can you start taking responsibility to start building your business while working full-time so that you could eventually take this full-time if you desire? So tell me. So some things that I can tell you are setting like literally sitting down tonight before you go to bed and writing out a plan or putting in your calendar the hours after work or before work or on your lunch break where you're going to work on your business, you're going to work on content, or you're going to work on whatever that looks like for you, right? Starting small, but putting it in your calendar, your work hours on your side hustle, your work hours on your business. So that's one way that you can take responsibility. Starting to learn more about building a business. You can start, one action step that you can do is researching books on building a business, best books for entrepreneurs, and make a list and order one off Amazon today or get it from your library or whatever it is, however you get your books, get it on Audible. Start reading it as soon as it comes in, right? That's an action step you can take. Read everything and anything you possibly can to learn about how to build a business. Yeah. And like, it's great that you're so focused on building your spiritual and personal development. But like you said, it's not even time to shift your mindset. It's time to add a new tool to your belt. Okay. Let me know how that lands. I'm going to go through. Okay. Let's see. Sarah said cold emailing for sure. Okay. So with cold emailing, okay, we'll go with both cold emailing and the fact that you're not quite making what you'd like to make yet. So tell me, in what ways have you been avoiding responsibility with this? In what ways have you been avoiding responsibility? If you complain about cold emailing, in what ways have you been avoiding responsibility and building a warm market? Social media, right? In what ways have you been avoiding connecting with people on social media that could be potential clients, or just connecting with people on social media in general so that you don't have to cold invite in the future? That could be a way. You're not posting on social media, you're not connecting, you're not engaging. And the fact that you're not quite making what you'd like to make yet. How have you been avoiding this responsibility? Are you clear on how much money you want to make? Are you clear on what it is that you're offering? Do you need to up your prices? Do you need to sell, like, just talk about what you do more? Like, in what ways have you been avoiding responsibility? Because I can tell you, like, going back to that whole thing with cold emailing, saying, well, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good having to email people that I don't know and try to sell to them and all this stuff. Like, how are you avoiding responsibility? Because you're not building relationships with people that could be potential clients in the future, right? Or that you're not quite making what you'd like to make yet in your business. Like, instead of saying, well, people aren't buying from me, no one wants me to be their copywriter, whatever, that's like the ego mind. So how are you avoiding responsibility for that? Do you have all the offers out there that you want to offer? And also, like, again, this is the same, it could go back to what we were talking about with Joanne, is like looking at all the resources you could possibly read and learn about. But it also comes down to like the action step, right? So it's good to add knowledge, but it's like implementation is huge. Or like I said, the fact that you're not quite making what you'd like to make yet. Are you clear on how much money you want to make? Are you clear on what you're offering? Are you clear on, if I want to make this much money, I need to sell this much of these and this, whatever, like getting that really figured out. Are you looking at the numbers? Like, are you Those are my things that come up. And then asking yourself, how can you be more responsible? How can you take more responsibility? Well, you can start building social media. You can start posting. You can start, your long form content. You can start educating people on copywriting so that you can become the thought leader in your industry. So when people are looking for a copywriter, they know who to go to. That's the first thing that comes out to me. And in terms of not quite making what you'd like to make yet, you can set goals for how much money you want to make. You can start, if it feels good to reach out to people, continue reaching out to people. Or maybe just like as you start to educate people on copywriting on your social media, like start sharing what you do and what you offer. Okay. Or start sending email sequences or start building your email list. Like you help people with their email list, you can build your own, right? I hope that lands. Let's see. And then in terms of not using that time, okay, hold on. No, I'm lying. I went too far. In terms of complaining about literary agents not answering you back, like, so you're like, oh, it's their fault that they're not answering you back. Well, could you reach out to more people? Could you focus in on the manifestation aspect of that? And it's like you're avoiding responsibility because you're putting your self-worth in their hands, right? So how can you really reflect back on you, and knowing that what you do is enough regardless, right? So it's like taking responsibility for that, like complaining about them not answering you back. How about you follow up with them? How about you reach out to more literary agents? How about you get clear on the type of literary agent you want to work with? And then not wanting to relearn the menu at your restaurant. I don't think it's not wanting to relearn the menu at your restaurant. I think it's not wanting to go back to the restaurant. So how are you avoiding responsibility from not going back to the restaurant? Well, you haven't put your 2 weeks in yet. You haven't hit the financial goals that you want in your business yet, right? Which goes back up to what I was saying before about telling people about what you're doing, becoming the thought leader in your industry, educating people on copywriting, because there's so many entrepreneurs that need to learn about it, right? Like be that resource for people so that when people are like, oh my God, I'm building my business really quickly and they have to delegate. They delegate to you because you're the thought leader. So how are you avoiding responsibility is that you haven't put in your 2 weeks of work yet. You're nervous about not hitting the goals that you want with your business. So how can you take responsibility for that? Like, how can you take responsibility for not wanting to go back to the restaurant? You can put in your 2 weeks. You can start booking new clients. You can start putting your work out there. You can start reaching out. You can start sharing on social media. That's like the big thing that comes through for me, Sarah, for you is educating people on social media about copywriting and then sharing on social media about the work that you're doing and building your email list. Those are like the 3 things that come up for me. I hope that helps. Okay. Wanda said that I can't find a job down here that I won't be able to receive money. So how are you avoiding responsibility? Are you looking for jobs? Are you looking for all of the jobs that you think you want? Are you looking at all the possible ways that you could be manifesting money, right? Like it could come from unlimited sources. And then how can you take responsibility is like, start searching for jobs. Start like redo your resume if you haven't done that yet. Start looking for jobs that you actually want to be working in. Get clear on the job you want to be working in. Call that in. Feel into the emotions of what that would feel like. And that you won't be able to receive the money. Are you clear on how much money you want? Are you clear on how much money you want to manifest? That's a huge thing. Or that you'll be bored living here, or that you're going to become lazy because you're not doing anything. That's a really good one. So how are you avoiding responsibility that you're going to be bored living there? Are you avoiding starting new hobbies, asking yourself what you're interested in? If you're there for more of a personal reflective discovery phase of your life, like, are you avoiding going out and doing new things, trying new hobbies, talking to new people, going new places, right? And then with feeling like you're going to get lazy because you're not doing anything. You answered that question right there. How are you avoiding responsibility? You're not doing anything. So how can you take 100% responsibility for this aspect of your life I really hope this is helping you guys. I know it's like a lot and it's really powerful, but I really just want to get those gears in your mind going about this because it's so important. And I knew that you guys needed to hear this today. Like I just trusted my gut on that because I needed to hear it today. So, how can you take 100% responsibility? You can start trying new hobbies, traveling new places, meeting new people, asking yourself what would feel really fun today, and then going out and doing it, right? Or, in terms of not wanting to get lazy because you're not doing anything, do some goal setting, do some vision, like become a visionary about your dream life and start asking yourself, how can I take action in the direction that I want to go? Okay. Okay. I think there's one more. Let's see. Okay. So Joanne, also complaining about my messy apartment and eating like shit. So how are you not taking responsibility? This one's pretty simple and straightforward. But I'm right there with you. How are you avoiding responsibility? You're not cleaning your space. You're telling yourself that you're working too much to clean. And you're eating like shit because you're avoiding going to the grocery store. You're avoiding finding meals that make you feel really good. You're avoiding cooking, right? So how can you take 100% responsibility? Maybe you have one day a week where you clean your place. You take a day to just reflect, no work, no nothing, to just clean and enjoy and pamper yourself and just get yourself in a better state, a better energy. And then, how can you take responsibility for eating better and feeling better with the foods that you're fueling your body with? Like, make a list of recipes you want to try. Go on Pinterest and make a whole board of recipes that you want to try, and go to the grocery or order your groceries and start cooking, right? Okay, I'm just going to read through these really quick and then I'll answer any last minute questions. Okay, not posting on social media consistently, falling behind on cold emailing. So yeah, like take responsibility in take responsibility in like setting up a schedule and how many cold invites you want to send, how many cold emails you want to send a week, and do that. How can you take responsibility with social media? Like use Planoly, use an app that you can use to schedule your posts. Not using that time to learn more about your craft. Find resources, right? Not reaching out to literary agents, falling behind on this as well. So like, I feel like a big thing for you is just like, because it sounds a lot like how I was feeling like 2 weeks ago, Sarah, is like that I fell out of the groove with my goal setting. So like now my rituals have become looking at my, like literally, right, if you have not written out, and this applies for everybody on here, if you have not written out what your dream life looks like in the form of like dear universe, angels, guides, higher self, or however that feels good to you, thank you so much for giving me this beautiful life that I get to live every single day. I'm so grateful for, and going into detail about all the things that you want to manifest, like end of the day, big picture vision. And then every week, I'm going to do this tonight because it's Sunday. You guys can do this tonight as well. But every week, make a list of your goals for the week and the things that you want to accomplish that are going to get you further along your journey. So for you, Sarah, scheduling social media posts, posting consistently, right? Setting a number of cold emails you want to send a week. And again, like how many literary agents do you want to reach out to in a week? And how many hours do you want to spend creative writing in a week? Like make that on your goal list. And then when you wake up in the morning or the night before you go to bed, make a to-do list of like 2 to 3 things from that goals list for the week. Give it a couple weeks and I guarantee you're going to feel a lot better. Okay. Let's see, watching the hashtag course I bought, scheduling out my time each day, sitting down and scheduling social media posts again, brainstorming the things I'd like to post about, spending time to either write or brainstorm ideas in the morning, maybe right after meditation, reading or listening to courses or podcasts over coffee or doing makeup. Love it. Okay. Okay. Joanne said, I'm not using my off time effectively for sure. Need to start learning more about building a business. I've been so focused on spiritual. I already read that. Weird. Okay. Could start listening to more business podcasts too. Absolutely, you could. I can post some resources in here if you want. Okay. Wanda said, not taking my days as looking for jobs that I'm able to teach online and not trying hard enough to look for them. Not trusting myself with the money I do receive and not holding it. I'm not trying to do everything and say no to every offer. I'm getting to go outside, seeing my niece and nephew, going to the store, even walking my dog, but I'm also not being productive during the lazy day. Okay. So yeah, I feel like for you, Wanda, it's just like, again, getting clear on what you want and like reverse engineering that back to like what you do in a day is going to make you feel a lot more fulfilled than just kind of feeling like you're lazy or you're off track, or you know what I mean? And that's what this whole taking responsibility thing is about. Joanne said, I love that, adding a new tool to my belt. It was a good one. Definitely been inconsistent with social media for sure, and I will do the podcast like we spoke about, I promise. Have raised my prices already, but haven't even been sending emails anyway. See? So that's how you got to take responsibility. It's either you don't have an offer or you're not sharing your offer. You got to share your offer. Right. Okay. So I also just want you guys to take a minute to just ponder like the things that you're doing in your day that are not serving you, that are wasting your time. I want you to start filling in with these things that we're talking about, these action steps, and let me know how you feel after like a week or two of doing that. I'm clear on all the numbers, but taking action around those numbers is what's been going to the side. Okay, so start taking action. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay, you figured out what the issue was. Now you got to take responsibility. Telling myself I'm too exhausted. Ooh, yeah. So rest more. You know what I mean? And stop. This is the thing. It's like we tell ourselves we're too exhausted to do the things that we want to do, right? But it's like when we look at our days, like how much time are you spending scrolling on social media? How much time are you spending watching Netflix? How much time are you spending doing things that, you know, you could be like, literally, if you could just like let go of an hour of Netflix every single day or an hour of social media scrolling every single day to work on a solid hour for your business, right? Like, think about how much more you could get done and how great, and like you, once you're done with that hour, like then you get to rest, right? So it's like prioritizing that. Need to take responsibility of meal planning and taking time to clean instead of always working. I feel you on that really hardcore, and I'm right there with you because that's something that I'm also working on. So let me know how this landed and how this helped and how you feel now at the end of this live, or any other questions that you have coming up. Go ahead and let me know. The other thing I was going to say is, for those of you who are in here right now in terms of, and talking to me in terms of business, yep, you legit just called me out on the social media scrolling, LOL. I know, because I've been there and I go through these waves of doing the same thing, right? But it's like, you're going to feel so much more relaxed if you just focus on what you got to get done, and then you have your time to do whatever it is you want to do. Okay. Let me know how that lands. Let me know any other last minute questions you have before we hop off. This was a great session. So yeah, just my biggest piece of advice is like, look at where you want to be, goal set every single week, and then implement those goals for the week into your daily to-do list. And I promise you're going to feel so much more fulfilled, but you got to take responsibility. The other thing I was going to say is, for those of you guys that are in here who are really focused on shifting gears in terms of like starting a business or maybe starting a new job that you're feeling really called to, and again, I've kind of been sprinkling things about the group coaching program that's going to be launching in October, and we still have a couple months, but that's going to be a really good place to build a framework for starting your business and running your business and knowing what to do in your business, and having a community of other people who are also starting or running businesses, or it doesn't even have to be businesses. It could also just be like, are getting into manifesting careers and jobs that they love, things that they feel are their life's purpose, right? Fulfilling their life's purpose, following their intuition, getting paid to do that, getting paid to do what they love. It's going to be a really cool collective of that, with a lot of goal setting and bridging this intuitive knowing of the right next steps, and learning how to trust your intuition rather than like doing sales and business the way that everybody else teaches you to do it, right? And knowing that, really focusing on what's in alignment with you, like that side of it, but also the side of it of like actually taking action and holding yourself accountable, and having people to hold you accountable as well. So that's just a little thing that you guys can look forward to. Again, I'm saying this again for like the third time. If you have not submitted your testimonial video and you would like it, and you would like to submit it, or you're feeling called to submit it, past clients, customers, people who have done one-on-ones, group coaching, courses, who have been a part of this community for a while. Again, the instructions, the guiding questions, and the Google folder where you can upload the video is all linked in this Facebook page. I need them by tomorrow night at midnight. So make sure that you submit them. And then, of course, in exchange, I'm going to give you something as well. So if you choose to record and upload a video, you're going to be getting 22% off of the group coaching program that I was just talking about that launches in October. So that's my thank you to you guys, because I don't want you, I want each and every single one of you guys in this group coaching program, because it's going to be so powerful. And I'm going to be shifting away from doing Facebook Lives because I'm going to be devoting so much love and time and attention into you guys in that community. But we'll be able to actually come off mute and actually talk through things. So that's all I got. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to go. Feel free to comment on here or message me if anything else comes up for you guys. I love you so much. Let's take one more breath work. Take one more breath work. What am I even saying? This is what happens when I talk for an hour. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Let's just get grounded before we get off. Take one deep breath in. And release. Let it go. 2 more big breath in. Hold. And exhale. Last one, biggest breath you've taken all day. Hold. And exhale, release. Dear universe, angels, guides, higher self, angels, guides of everyone on this live, everyone watching this recording, everybody in this collective. Thank you for letting me serve each and every single one of these beautiful people in this community. Please continue to use me as a clear and open vessel for anything and everything that they're needing. And please just help them on this journey of taking 100% responsibility for their life today, to stop procrastinating, to stop with the excuses, to let all of the ego, to quiet the ego, stop identifying with the ego, and please just help them to live a more heart-centered, intuitive, calm, peaceful, joyful, loving, abundant life. That is my highest desire for each and every single one of these people in this community. And again, thank you so much for letting me serve each and every single one of them. Thank you for bringing them to me. Thank you for letting me serve and for letting me hold space for all of them along their own journeys, which are all so beautiful and so divine and so perfect. Take one more big deep breath in. And exhale. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. So good. Okay. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a good night. Take care of yourself. Go do your goal setting. Go write down the stuff you're going to accomplish this week. Feel free to lean on this group if you need any support in this. And I will talk to you next week or soon.